Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. As always, I have a treat for the Indiana Fever fans, a little speculation on what the 2025 Indiana Fever roster could look like. Now, keep in mind this is no insider knowledge of what they're doing, and it also is as much as I can grounded in reality. In other words, some things I would like to see happen that are actually possible. It is not an insane wish list of gathering up the best players at their positions and making a basically an all-star team Indiana, but it is about adding quality players that it is possible they could get, as well as drafts. So here are priorities. Okay, here's what I'm looking at is these are things the Fever could actually get done. Now, the more of them, the less likely they get them all done, right? But I believe all these possible. Trade Melissa Smith. I think almost all of us can agree that is what is best for this team. If you can package her with Christy Wallace, I don't know if that would be a benefit or not, but man, I am okay with them trading Wallace and Smith for a draft pick, even a second round pick at this point, almost addition by subtraction. Unfortunately, Melissa's behavior and how she let that behavior negatively impact her on the court has most certainly lowered her trade value because all the other teams know the situation Indiana is in with Melissa Smith. So I unless we get somebody out there, some crazy GM who is, for whatever insane reason, going to give fair value for Melissa Smith, getting anything for her at this point is a positive thing. So we trade Melissa Smith. Now, that could be involved in a sign or trade, right? Where you get a free agent who's going to go somewhere and the team signs them with the agreement to trade them, right? But anyway, and so maybe Melissa Smith gets packaged that way because I have two free agents that I think would be great for the Fever that are possible. Are both of them possible? I don't know. Maybe it's just one of them, but I think they would both be good signings. And of course, I think all of you know one because we've talked about it so many times. Setu Sabali, right? We all think that would be a great signing for the Indiana Fever. Now, I do not know about what players have been cored. So maybe Sabali has been cored. Maybe she's been cored, but she wants to leave. And that's where you could get in the sign and trade, right? Maybe Dallas signed Setu with the agreement of trading her to the Fever for Melissa Smith. I don't know. But Sabali would fit in great. I think that there's that fourth spot in the lineup. I think we can all agree we've got Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, and Aaliyah Boston as the four starters. And we need to fill in that spot that have been taken from Melissa Smith. Sabali is a great fit for that with her style of play. She will run the court. She can play inside and get to the basket. And obviously, all know that she can shoot the three, so she can stretch defenses. That is something that's missing with Melissa Smith. That is something that has been missing with Temi Fagbenley as well. And someone like Sabali would fit in perfectly. So we sign Sabali, or we get the sign and trade for Melissa Smith. The other signing I think that would be really good for the Indiana Fever, and that is Ariel Powers. Now, coincidentally, she's someone I thought would have been a great fit for the Fever long ago. I think I mentioned that mid-season at some point. She's been around a while, right? Her rookie year was 2016. She's a little older. She's had some injuries the last few years, but she is a good player, and she brings veteran leadership, which is something the Fever had talked about as well. And one thing that we know for the Fever that's important is depth. Look, we don't need, or also it may be very difficult to get another starter other than that one, right? I mean, talking about upgrading from Kelsey Mitchell or Lexi Hull or Leah Boston could be difficult. So we we know we talked about the end of the season. This is a team that lacked depth at the end of the season. They need a bench. Aerial Powers would be ideal in that. In her 8, 9 seasons in the league, even though she's had some injuries in the last 3 or 4, 10.5 points per game over her career. She's a double-digit scorer, only playing 19.6 minutes per game, right? That's instant offense, folks. Adding double digits, playing only half the game, that's good stuff. She can shoot the three as well. She's a physical player. I think she plays bigger than her 5'11". She's an athletic player. So, and look, maybe it's just a one-year deal at this point, and we go from there. Give her a chance, see what she can bring back in terms of her playing ability after the injury. So we sign Aerial Powers, we sign Sabali, we trade Melissa Smith. And also, and I did a video on this last week, go check it out if you haven't seen it. We draft Asia Sivka, who is she plays over in Europe. She plays in Italy. She's only 19 years old. She just turned 19 in November. Really, really good player. And again, also that type of player, I think she's 6'4", plays the exact type of way I would love to see. I think she plays small forward technically where she is, but I think she could play power forward. I think in this league, in this era of basketball, and especially with the style the Fever played, defining small forward and power forward doesn't really matter. She would fit in great with the way she plays. She runs the court really well. She's a great three-point shooter. She plays great defense, by the way. She's really long. She's not just 6'4". She's got long arms. She plays great defense. She can back players into the post and score with her left and her right. And I don't just mean layups. I mean in that 10 foot area. So she can spin, fake, and juke a defender either way and score with either hand inside. And again, she's only 19 years old. So if she is there, we draft Asia Sivka. Absolutely 100% for me. That is the draft pick for the Fever. Again, I'm leaving Wallace on the roster for now. But maybe the second round pick that the Fever get latches onto the team and Wallace has to go. Maybe they can trade her. Maybe they'll package her and Smith together for one player. And that leaves an opening for the Fever. So right now I'm looking at a starting lineup for the Fever next year. Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, Satu Sabali, and Aaliyah Boston. And then a bench with a little more depth because we have Damiris Dantas, bringing her back. Aerial Powers, as I just mentioned, which brings some veteran leadership and some scoring off the bench again and can shoot the three. Dantas can shoot the three, right? Grace Berger, of course, as well. I've always said Victoria, and that's what I've heard. Does anyone know because of how she spells it? Does she pronounce it differently? Is it more of an A? Just curious. Let me know in the comments below. But so we have Sivka, Berger, Saxton, Samuelson, Katie Lou, and Dantas, and look, Christy Wallace. That would be 12. Maybe we find a way to get rid of Wallace, unload her with Melissa Smith, and who knows? Maybe Christy Wallace getting a second chance under Stephanie White in a Stephanie White system with these players, playing limited minutes. Maybe she plays on average, not every game. You never know. Maybe she plays 8, 10 minutes a game and she can be productive. Look, she had a fantastic game at the end of the season against Washington, if you all remember, where the subs had that comeback in that 1-point loss. She was 6 of 8, 3 of 3 from 3 of 3 or 3 of 4, I believe, from 3-point range, 17 points, 4 rebounds in 25 minutes. And look, she was on Australian Olympic team. I mean, yeah, she looked really, really bad, and she absolutely was not a shutdown defender that sides tried to make. I think that hurt Wallace. She struggled to adapt to Caitlin Clark early. She was not a 30, 35-minute game starter at that position. That doesn't mean Christy Wallace doesn't have some basketball talent and she can't play. So who knows? Maybe that works out with Stephanie White. And Katie Lou, I'm leaving Katie Lou because as far as I know, that 180,000 that she's going to make is guaranteed. It's on the against the salary cap. I don't know that you're going to get a team out there that is going to take Katie Lou Samuelson and that salary. If you can, then maybe we try and trade her. But at this point, I think fingers crossed that we hope that her veteran leadership helps and that she bounces back a little bit, because she is a better player than she showed this year with the Fever. So there you go. That's what you have it. That are my starters: Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hall, Satu Sabali, and Aaliyah Boston. The bench: Ariel Powers, Asia Sivka, Grace Berger, Victoria Saxton, Katie Lou Samuelson, Damiris Dantas, and Christy Wallace. So those are the 12 players that I have for the Fever for the 2025 season. At this point, we're going to see how things go. Again, free agency is until I think the very end of January, and then a week more before they can actually sign players. I think there's like a week in there where it's okay, you can go talk and all of that, but signings can't happen for another week after free agency opens. I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your thoughts on the comments below. What you think of this roster? What do you think of the possibility of this? Do you have other things that you think are real possibilities? And hey, your wish list too. I mean, that's what fans love to do. They love to think, hey, how do we turn things around? Not that they have to completely turn them around, but you know what I mean. How do we turn things around in one season? With just everything goes right for us. We get all the players that we want to get, and we have ourselves a championship. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Really do appreciate it. Go have the day that you deserve. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will talk to you later.